Carter, go home.
Exactly.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here, and so is the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Our matchup tonight taking place in Sacramento, the Golden One Center, as we watch the Kings go up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This Cleveland group has been getting things done. This is a team nobody wants to face right now. A 9-game winning streak coming into this game. They're hoping to hit double digits. And the Sacramento fans so happy to still have their Kings team after it seemed certain they'd make the move to Seattle. They kept the faith.
Bubba, why are you sweeping?
Man, somebody knocked over my cup of sunflower seeds. It's taking forever for somebody to come over and clean them up. I guess we gonna have to do all the cleaning. Ain't that right?
Yeah, but there's nothing. Wait, are you making a metaphor?
Yeah. Too dramatic?
Just a little bit. Better than that, boo-boo.
Trying to help you. Came here to clean up.
The Star-Spangled Banner, sung by musical artist Linda Lynn. Welcome it, and David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Well, guys, Sacramento Kings coach Dave Yeager started out coaching in the Myplayer.
Thanks, David, and it's clear that Coach Yeager is a details guy, an impressive young coach. And the NBA season can be a long one, Chris. How important were team functions and team events during the season as a way to relieve some of the stress of the season?
Oh, man, if you're on a good team and a good team in the locker room, then you really don't even have to have team functions because you're going out, hanging out after every practice, going to play golf on warm days.
It's just natural, right?
Yeah, it's just natural. You're eating with guys, hanging out with guys, and so it is everything because really these are the guys that you're playing for, and the better chemistry, the better the team, I've always believed, and so team functions, hanging out with the guys, always important.
Look at Cleveland's starting group. The two stars, LeBron and Love, making up the forward positions. Put out there with Jordan Clarkson, and it's A-Train in at the 5.
I like how Hill runs the pick and roll. If he gets any separation off the screen, he's ready to fire.
Clarkson dishes to LeBron. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Fox passes to Bogdanovich. Dishes to Hill. 6 on the shot clock. Shot from 12. He doesn't hit that one. 18 that time from Hood. On defense, Sacramento. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And the big problem, they got trigger happy. Shot a very low percentage from beyond the arc.
Well, the obvious solve is to go to the basket. I mean, there were some open lanes. They were just unwilling to take advantage of it.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. James kicks to Love. Pass to Hood. Clarkson is screen on Fox. Hood drives in. Here's A-Train, and he dumps it down.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint. And here is Fox. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Clippers in Los Angeles. Randolph dishes to Fox. Randolph with the ball, picked up by Love. Randolph kicks to Hield. Randolph sets a screen for Hield over Love. Again, Hield missing.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
The best laid plans, right? I tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
Randolph, a screen on Clarkson. Fox kicks to Bogdanovich. Passes it to Randall. Second shot opportunity. Off on the layup.
Hand right in his face on the layup. Excellent defense that time in the paint.
And he uses both hands to jam it in.
Ooh, he put a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. The dish to Hield. Shot off the screen. A putback and the second chance effort by Randolph. Randolph's got his first 2 points.
That's his bread and butter. Randolph, a beast on the board.
LeBron against Bogdanovich. That's a pick by Love. James with the bucket. LeBron's got his second basket of the night.
Okay, 4 for 5 from the floor right now. Wasting no time getting this offense rolling.
Randolph passes to Bogdanovich. Back to Randolph. Over Love. That one off the back iron and out.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Put on the wing. It's stolen by Hield. The feed now to Fox. It's rebounded by Cleveland. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
And the story of that game was their terrific rhythm on the offensive end.
But it started with their energy. They played with a lot of it. And then on the other end, they look very comfortable getting their shots. That's his mindset. Attack, attack, attack whenever possible.
And as successful as LeBron James has been, a max contract, all the endorsements, everything else, he's made his mark with his philanthropy.
Well, Kevin, my favorite part about LeBron is what he's done off the court. I mean, $2.5 million to the Muhammad Ali Museum. Think about this. This might be one of the greatest philanthropic moves, in my opinion, by an athlete. $40 million to pay for the college tuition of 1,000 Ohio school children. I mean, he's affecting the world in ways much larger than basketball.
That free throw, no good. Second free throw, no good. The Cavaliers leading by 4. Oh, and the jam by LeBron.
And there's no question that James is one of the best dunkers ever. A forceful finisher who loves showing off his athleticism.
And for Sacramento, they're shooting a pretty distressing 27% here in the early minutes. Fox kicks to Hield. Here's the screen. Feeds it to Kufis. Cavaliers with the rebound. A-Train's got his 5th rebound in this one. LeBron James on the way. Over Bogdanovich. James kicks to Clarkson. It's a pick by Love. Shot's good by Clarkson.
Fruitful possession. Just doing what they can to extend the lead.
And that's what you have to do. Stay in the moment. Keep grinding.
Fox dishes to Randolph. Will it go? It's a big high bounce and goes in.
Randolph unfazed by the defense, keeping his eye on the prize.
The Cavaliers leading by 6. Clarkson passes to James. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. You know, Chris, LeBron took a lot of heat going to Miami, but when he played with the Heat, he said he learned a lot how to win there. And certainly the results showed with 2 championships and 4 NBA Finals.
The fans in Cleveland, they should be happy that he left, learned how to win there in Miami under a great leader like a Pat Riley, and came back and brought that knowledge to Cleveland and won their first championship. I'm sure all is forgiven now.
Catching up on the changes for Sacramento. Stein, he's checked in for Dukas. Shumpert comes in for Bogdanovich. Garrett Temple is checked in for Buddy Hield. And it's Mason in for Fox.
You got to admire LeBron. I mean, he's such a competitive athlete. One of the most competitive athletes you'll see in all of sports.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Hill passes to A-Train. Pick up by Hill. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Chris, you've been broadcasting as an analyst for the better part of the decade now. Talk about your process when you personally prepare for a broadcast, prepare for a game.
Wow, that's crazy. It is almost the better part of the decade. It doesn't seem that long. I can't believe I've been retired that long. But
I know.
Right? I can't. Wow, time flies,
I can't
man.
either.
I have to thank so many of the guys that I've worked with that have taught me kind of how to do it. But my process is kind of like a basketball game when I play. There's a scouting report. I look at the scouting report. I look at the stats for the season. I compare the 2 teams. I look at this if I was playing for Team A, what would we have to do? What would my role be? And then I look at it for Team B. I love coaching and management and looking at all those things. And so it gives me a chance to play all those roles and then come up with the game plan. And then from there, I just try to make sure I kind of stick to the rules of commentating when we start the game and go from there. But my preparation is really to get deep into the numbers of each team, but then more importantly, how they've been playing, add that context of what I did as a player, and I know what the teams are going through along with all those analytics, and then kind of just let it fly, and hopefully the fans have fun watching it. But that's my process.
Mason kicks to Randall. Mason against Hill. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Yeah, easy call.
For Sacramento, they have not yet made a free throw in the game, 0 of 2 so far.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
That free throw, no good. And he ends up missing both free throws. And the Cavs, a powerhouse team, but they're used to overcoming long odds as well.
When you think of their 3-1 deficit against the Warriors in 2016, going on to win it all, that was just crazy. But last season, the largest second-half comeback in playoff history, in the clutch, they always respond.
And the story here, Kevin, early on, is how well they shot the basketball.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Oh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
And where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the Kings.
And a shot they haven't been looking for very much is that corner 3. And when they have, these been quick to kind of close out and deny it, and they've had to get their points from elsewhere.
Stein, a screen. Here's Temple. Terrific design on the pick look, and he lays it in.
Throw is a tough shot, even when you're that close to the bucket.
Outside Hill. Here's A-Train. Shumpert with some nice deep.
He loses concentration at the moment of truth and blows the layup.
1:22 left to play in the first quarter. Hill against Mason. Just 5 to shoot. Softly drops in the floater. Mason's got his first basket.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Hill kicks to Corbin. Out to the right wing. Here's A-Train. A shot, no good. And it's the Kings taking it the other way. In the corner, it's Temple. Buries it from three-point range. Now just a three-point Cleveland lead.
How on earth did they let him get that wide open?
Green, the screen. Pass to A-Train. Offensive struggles continue. Missing again. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
And guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Here's Randolph. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Randolph's got 8.
More than comfortable operating from mid-range. Easy money for Randolph.
A-Train. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
And they make sure to get the last shot of the quarter there. Nicely done.
Yeah, clock.
And so it's LeBron. And we got a chance to hear from LeBron James about the hard work and preparation he brings into.
Go back and I'm able to,
I think you'd have to say that big group substitution here for Sacramento. Kufis checked in for Randolph. Bogdanovich comes in for Shumpert. On a Hield, he's checked in for Garrett Temple. And it's Fox in for Mason. Hield is out there with Fox. Then there's Kufis. Then it's Willie Cauley-Stein. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. Now some big men in the league who are just superb at swatting away balls. Guys that you think right now are the best rim protectors, Chris, in the league.
Well, I think there's 3, and it's a no-brainer with these 3. I think one of the most intimidating, or the most intimidating, you have to go to DeAndre Jordan. He's the most athletic big man I've ever seen in my time in playing basketball. And with his length and his size, he can get up and block a shot quick. He can even get out there and guard some guards. We've seen him move laterally. Hassan Whiteside, this big fella has really improved his game, has really focused, gotten better in the offseason, and it's not something crazy to see him have a 10-block game. So I love seeing him. And then Rudy Gobert, we've seen him come on and become that inside dominant force for the Utah Jazz. So those 3 to me, really don't have one that stands out, but those 3 to me are the best on the defensive end when we're talking about big men defenders.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, A-Train in the last game against the Warriors was outstanding. He had 37 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what became a great exhibition on his part. The numbers in that game make me anxious to see what he can do tonight. Kevin?
David, appreciate the report. He was a one-man show in that game.
And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much that took out of him. I mean, he'll have a hard time putting up anything even close to those numbers here tonight.
I mean, well, it should have taken all the energy out of him. It should have taken something out of him, Greg. I mean, he pushed the envelope in every way that night. He was unreal.
And a terrific percentage here in the first half. You got to love their rhythm and the flow with which they're playing.
Well, it's the shot selection. That's been a positive for them thus far and a negative for their opponent.
Here's Bogdanovich. Offline with his 3. Cleveland leading by 16. And here we go. Fast break. Love's got it. And no one near Clarkson as he lets it go. That's in there. Love with the assist. Love's got assist number 5 here tonight. Hield kicks to Kufis. Cauley-Stein a screen. And Fox gets it to go. Fox has got 7 points.
And Fox starting to show you his abilities inside. It has quick instincts, which I think helps him when he's down low.
To the left side wing. Here's A-Train. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. The Kings trail by 17. Fox kicks to Bogdanovich. Over James. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul against Cleveland. The Kings have had an off night from the stripe tonight. First one falls for him.
Strong take to get the foul there after not getting it there in the first quarter.
J.R. Smith's checked in for LeBron. Cleveland's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Now the pass to A-Train. And right on through for another basket. He's got 5 made on 5 of 9 shooting.
But that lead's only going to keep growing if he keeps shooting like he has so far.
And stolen by Love. Smith against Bogdanovich. Here's A-Train. Cauley Stein grabs the board. Cauley Stein's got his third rebound tonight. Now here's Heald. Tight defense on him. He feeds it to Bogdanovich. He dishes it to Fox. 6 to shoot.
You do it.
Shoots over Clarkson, and Fox gets it to go. Fox has got 9 points now in the quarter.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
Passes it to A-Train. It's a pick by Love. A-Train, the pass to Love. He kicks it to Clarkson. 44 seconds left to play here in the half. Off on the layup. Now Fox. 9 points in the game so far. They set the pick. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. A three-pointer, no good. Cleveland leading by 15. Hood with it. His last outing, he had 8 points. Pass to A-Train. And he slams it one-handed.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Here's Bogdanovich. A dominating first half of basketball.
Thank you, Kevin. Another quick start here in this first half. What has been the key the last few games?
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the... Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. A-Train has been sensational.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left to play, that's impressive.
Well, it comes down to talent, comes down to hustle. He's shown both in a big way so far.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court for Cleveland, LeBron and Love are the deadly forward pair. Clarkson is out there with Hood, and it's A-Train in at the 5 down low. Oh, come on. It's hauled in by the Kings.
You expected him to drop the hammer there, but the D was just good enough to cause the miss.
Fox against Clarkson. 2 points. That one goes. Fox has got the first points of the second half here for Sacramento.
And the experience that Fox is garnering, this is a guy who is used to having hands in his face, but it doesn't seem to affect him in the slightest.
Love outside. Kicks it to LeBron. Poked loose and stolen by Kufis.
My bad, Ron. Charging.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Here's Fox. He's got 11. Randolph sets a screen for Bogdanovich. Down low. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
They call it old school. That's what it is when you watch Zach Randolph play the game of basketball. He's got such great skill and touch around the basket. We call it the old man game, and I tell you what, he gets it done every night.
Clarkson kicks to Love. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
I like how Love strokes it from the mid-range, a dynamic scorer when he has room to fire.
You know, as you said, Greg, all the time, Zach Randolph can roll out of bed and get you 20.
I mean, he's just a natural scorer. He can post up, he can face up, and he just stays with it. An excellent offensive rebounder. This guy just has that nuance to his game that's made him so effective. Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Here's A-Train, and fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot two.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
And Chris, so many of us involved with the NBA, either as broadcasters or players, had a moment where they just knew that this was the game for us. Did you ever have that moment? And if so, Chris, when did you fall in love with the game of basketball?
Wow, that's a great question, Kev. You know what? I have so many signature moments in my life that continually made me fall in love. I don't know if there's just one. You know, I remember, for instance, Isaiah Thomas, after he won the All-Star game, I believe it was like 86, 87, and after he had his mom come up and his mom did the interview with him, and I was there with my mom, and I remember thinking to myself, man, that would be a cool moment. Or watching Magic Johnson hoist up a championship because he was from Michigan, and I had followed his career the whole time, and so watching him win a championship. Or how about those great Magic Johnson, Larry Bird commercials back when they got out the limo and were looking at each other, you know, that type of stuff. So, man, so many great moments, man. I can't pick one, but there's so many great moments.
Great moments indeed. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Mason. They get it back. Lucas. And that's good. A nice job on the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
There's the pass to A-Train. Here's LeBron. And the officials call it traveling violation. Now let's take a look at the top rookies in the league. Our rankings here for the race for Rookie of the Year. Distinction every young player would love to have. We take a look at the A-Train. He's been just what his team has needed as he comes in, and he has played wonderfully through the start of his career. And now he sits at number 4.
And that's a pretty good position he's in at number 4. What do you guys think? Will he be higher or lower on that list once we get through the second half of the season?
Well, it depends on how prepared he is for the length of an NBA season. I mean, from a physical aspect, it's hard on some rookies, but if he stays healthy and fresh and focused, I think he'll be moving up. The float is a tough shot, even when you're that close to the bucket.
The Cavaliers leading by 14. There's the screen. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. And he makes that one.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They play team ball. So if you pay him too much attention, that just leaves other guys open, and it's too difficult of an adjustment to make.
It's stolen by Green. The shot's good. Green's got 7.
Well, I like that he shows no hesitation there.
Yeah, while he's taking off, no one on the other side reacts. They give up the easy points.
And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment. And here is Mason. Just 5 on the clock. Pulls up. And all around the rim that time before dropping in.
You know what? Didn't find a very good shot on that possession, but still able to get 2 points.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
Oh, one thing I like about Ty Lue is at the same time he's a player's coach. He's also got the confidence to take charge. That's important on a team with star talent like the Cavs.
And let's take a quick look now at some stats for Koufos. He's one of the standouts over the last month. He's getting around 8 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
Well, yeah, lately he's been overachieving a little bit. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things to come.
Well, a few seasons ago, the NBA introduced the last 2-minute report, where they release a review of all the calls in the final 2 minutes of a game. It certainly had some mixed reaction. Chris, how do you feel about the public review that a refereeing crew now faces with the report?
Well, you know, I think pressure should be on referees just like it is on players. I think everyone gets their job evaluated, and it's no different from anyone else. I don't know what it does, though, what a report does by telling you what happened in the last 2 minutes and that this referee missed the call. So I don't know what it does, but I don't mind it because everyone needs to be held accountable, and transparency is always good.
Very well said. There's a good screen. The drive by Green, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And it's going to go on Iman Shumpert. For Cleveland, they have been shooting right Here's Wells. And when you look back at the career of Shammy Wells, he has always been a player. You wonder why he isn't more effective on the court. Greg, great skill set, but always finds something to trip up on.
Yeah, a lot of the issue with Wells is that he just hasn't shown a dedication to making the most of that talent. He's kind of an eccentric guy and at times can fall too in love with what is going on in the moment instead of focusing on the long-term goal.
Cauley Stein is out there with Bogdanovich. Then there's Buddy Hield, and it's Fox, and it's Kufis in at the center, locking down the middle. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. Here's Bogdanovich. Sacramento gets it back.
They are really crashing the offensive glass, and it's paying off for them.
And it's Kufis missing.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Here's A-Train. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Kufis has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Fox dishes to Kufis. Cauley Stein a screen. Kufis kicks to Hield. Goes up on the high post. Offensive rebound. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Off target from three-point range. For Cleveland, they've gone 3 of 4 on field goal attempts since getting things started here in the 4th. Smith outside. Chris, you see some of the rookies coming into the league. They need to put on more weight. They need to build up a little bit. And how aggressive saying that were you looking to add strength when you came into the NBA?
Well, I was fortunate that I already had an NBA-type body, and so I really didn't need to try to bulk up for the NBA. You know, I really disagree that a lot of guys got to get stronger. Look at Kevin Durant. You know, we all know the famous story about how trainers laughed at him when he got to the league. The NBA is unique in that, do you have skill? Can you play? So, no, Curry doesn't need to put on 25 pounds of muscle. I think we've seen Durant doesn't need to put on 15 pounds of muscle. It's more about your game. It's more about your core and your balance. You'll pick up natural weight and natural strength as you go along. But how is your work ethic? Are you in the gym? Are you lifting? Are you working out? Are you getting stronger? That's great. But you don't have to necessarily try to become bigger and stronger. Just try to make sure you have game. That's most important.
Some changes for Sacramento. Giles checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Jackson comes in for Bogdanovich. And it's Caboclo in for Buddy Hield.
And when Wells is locked in, he's a valuable player, a ferocious competitor whose teammates just love him.
Caboclo kicks to Fox. There's the screen. Jackson in the corner. That 3 off the mark. Cleveland's gone 7 of 10 shooting from three-point land tonight. Excellent numbers from outside. Offensive rebound, and he jams it with authority.
And, you know, it's one thing to get the offensive rebound, but then how about the loud bucket he's able to convert?
He was in perfect position under the hoop, Greg. You're right. Once he gets his hands on the miss. Chris, if you were on the rules committee, what rule change would you like to see the NBA make going forward?
Kevin, there's not a rule I'd necessarily have changed, but I'd ask them to kind of reinterpret a couple of rules, and that goes with the flagrant foul. I often see so many plays that are just hard fouls called as flagrant fouls, and that can affect not only a player and later on whether it's a flagrant 2, but it can affect the game. It can affect the next game by how it's interpreted by a player being kicked out because of that. And so I just want to take the sensitivity or put the toughness back into that. So many flagrant fouls are called and they're not going at the head, or they're chopping down on the wrist, and I just like to see it get back to be interpreted as it was a little while ago, maybe 20, 25 years ago.
Here's A-Train. Oh! Boom! He jams it straight down.
Well, it's nice seeing Smith share the wealth, showing great focus, passing the ball to his teammates.
Chris, you had some amazing years with the Kings. Thinking back on it, what was one of your favorite moments in this jersey?
Wow, clinching the West in 2002. Really thought that was going to be our year. Having my jersey retired by the team was pretty special as well. And, you know, just the fans, you know, when you're getting buckets in front of those fans, it's nothing like it. And so just the memories I have being part of the community of Sacramento. Okay, he's definitely trying to take it to the D in the second half, trying to get to that line.
With the teardrop, here's Caboclo. Sacramento again missing.
And even without that three-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play. How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Fox passes to Jackson. Here's Caboclo. There's a good screen. The wide open look here for Fox. No good again that time.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive. And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
And you look at the level of talent in the NBA now, some great players. But we've heard others say the league is watered down. How do you view that statement?
Well, I don't think you can compare eras. I think it's great to argue and have fun with them, debate them, but, very sincerely, unless someone can play against each other, it's just a wasted argument. It's different eras, there's different rules. Think about how many threes Larry Bird shot per game. 1.5, 2. What if he could let it fly 10 times a game? We'd be talking about a different player there. So I think times, eras, the physical play of the 80s, of the 90s, I just know the players were handling it differently. Hand checking, the way that we call flagrant 1 fouls. It's a different league, and so I just choose to celebrate the players that we have now. They're the evolution in my mind. They're kind of the culmination of all the players that have come before them. So I just enjoy the game the way it is now.
Here's Giles. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
How about that move? Is this guy special or what? Just love watching him operate inside.
Here's A-Train. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Oh, LeBron James is such a devastating finisher around the rim. Cleveland's goal has been to surround him with as many three-point shooters as possible, trying to keep the defense spread out.
And the old guard used to say that jump shooting teams can't win titles. Chris, that playoff defense was just too tough.
Well, it's a different time. The Cavs win while taking a ton of threes. Still, though, LeBron's interior threat is what creates those open looks.
Catching up on the changes for Sacramento. Iman Shumpert is checked in for Caboclo, and it's Mason in for Fox. Hill against Mason. Kufis inside. Mason against Hill. Mason misses. Cavaliers have gotten exactly 2/3 of their shots to find the bottom of the net here in the fourth, 8 of 12. And the basket by Hill.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
And here now the Kings. Now Mason. They set the pick. Outside jumper. As you look at the league right now, how different would you say it is from when you played? And if there are a lot of differences, do you like the changes?
Yeah, the NBA is much different from when I played. When I played, if you shot a jumper from the 15-foot range free throw line, they criticized you as a big fella. Now you have to be able to space the floor. If you were a big fella and led the break back then, they criticize you. Now you have a guy like Durant who is 6'11". So the game has changed from rules that was so much more physical at the time. It was a slower pace. But, that was then. I love the way that the game is now. I love that players have more freedom. I love that the pace is faster. You don't have to look back at your coach to have a play called every time. And trust is put in these players' skill sets. And so I love it, man. Anytime you can see Harden go to work, Durant go to work, Curry go to work, Westbrook go to work, LeBron go to work, Irving go to work, and just watch them play in an open offense. And it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I like the changes, and it was fun when I played as well.
And, it's one thing to get the offensive rebound, but then how about the loud bucket he's able to convert?
He was in perfect position under the hoop, Greg. You're right. Once he gets his hands on the miss. Smith for 3. Sacramento grabs the miss. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Mason dishes to Jackson. Pass to Shumpert, and the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
And probably coming out of the game anyway. I think we're officially into garbage time. And guys, this is where their depth really comes into play. They've got such talent at that position. They'd love to have him out there, but they won't suffer much of a drop-off. And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Cavaliers.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And you can mark this one down in the W column. It'll mark their 23rd of the season.
No doubt they came in very motivated to win this one and finish the season series at a game apiece.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for A-Train.
From an offensive standpoint, he was their leader tonight. Whenever they needed a big bucket, he was always the guy to come up.
To the middle. Hill against Mason. The screen from Thompson. 6 on the shot clock. From the arc. And that's good. J.R. Smith for 3.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack mindset.
Mason kicks to Shumpert. There's a screen. Free throw line jump shot. Breaks a big high bounce and goes in.
Oh, you better keep an eye on Shumpert. He's fantastic at getting space off the screen.
Here's A-Train. Off target. That was a little heat check. And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this one. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You just cruise for the kind of win they did tonight.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thank you. Another double-double for you this year, points and rebounds. Now, is that something you're looking to do when you go out there?
David, thank you as always.
DJ Munchin. I see you out there, baby.
All day, baby. You know I got to get mine.
Man.
DJ, you are up in 5. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All I'm saying is if it's a foul on me in the beginning, then it's a foul on them too. They target me. I'm prejudged. Take a look. I got a target on my back the size of a tank.
You might need to go
If
in.
any one of these other so-called all-stars did the same thing, no one would even blink. Oh, but when Shammy does it, it's a big deal.
Thank you. Thanks. That is enough for now. We will have DJ up here in just a few minutes.
I think it went well.
Oh, we are getting shredded on social. His rant is trending already. Look, Shammy calls game rigged.
Hey, I'm trending? Hey,
Stop!
man, that's what's up.
Stop! Stop! You are going to draft a statement for him saying, I misspoke. I am deeply apologetic for the wildly inappropriate statements I made.
Like many competitors, I am fiercely competitive, protective of
Good.
my team.
Good.
Hey, let me ask something.
No! No, and the league is probably going to fine you for this. What? You're going to go home. You're going to stay off your phone except to post the statement that Charlie's going to send you. You're not going to check your mentions, and you're not going to speak to anyone.
So does this mean I don't have to do my post-game interview?
Rookies aren't allowed to make jokes.
Yeah, she's right.
We're going to talk about this.
Play, win, repeat. Is that just how it goes now, DJ? It seems like you guys can't lose.
Yo, you got that partially correct, all right? It's play, win, celebrate, and then repeat. You know, people say winning isn't easy. I beg to differ. It's more like losing is tough because we don't know how to do it. You feel me? Hey, write that down.
Well, DJ, that's one more in the win column for you guys. How long do you think this streak can last?
As far as I'm concerned, tonight was another one-game win streak. We played really well, but there's always room to improve. So we'll prepare for the next game and hopefully start that one off with another one-game streak.
Short and sweet.
Yep, said what I needed to say. Didn't feel like blabbering on.
Oh, you got places to be.
Oh, you know it.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, we'll see the Boston Celtics playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And for Cleveland, another really high-quality season being played by a team that we've come to expect nothing less from. There they are, top spot in the East. And Kenny, oh, we have lots to talk about. One thing coming up on the horizon, the trade deadline. Front offices have had time to evaluate rosters. What are your feelings about blockbuster in-season trades?
Huge deals are rare in the season, Ernie. You know,
Huge
typically
deals.
huge deals. You know, but typically they come in the off season because teams have time to nurture and bring them together. But there have been some great trades in mid-season, so you can find new life right after the trade deadline, a la Clyde Drexler of the Houston Rockets, to get us our second championship.
Good point. New players will be slow to acclimate. But, Ernie, I think at times you risk disrupting chemistry.
Sometimes worth the risk and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't.
Kevin Harlan, take it away.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
boo boo.
DJ. I don't want to scare you. There's a kid out there with a giant cutout of your head. Just thought you should know.
Boo boo, I see this all the time.
Well, yeah, at home. But this is the first time you ever seen one on the road, right?
I guess, I don't know.
Look, I just want you to be aware so that way if you look in the stands and see a silly mug staring back at you, you won't get scared. I mean, it's not like you got a pretty face like old Boo Boo.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the home of the Celtics here in Boston as 2K Sports brings you today's action live. There's no better time of year than the holidays. And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, Kevin, LeBron James does not mind being a vocal leader. He said conflict was just part of the game for me growing up. I played outdoors, and if you didn't win, you might not play again for the rest of the day. But now I'm the leader of this team, and I expect nothing less than greatness out of all of us. I'm going to hold everyone accountable, including myself.
And that's so great to hear, D.A. LeBron is a proven leader and champion, as we all know, expects to contend for a championship every year.
And every time the Cavs and Celtics face off, you best believe it is must-see TV. Cleveland took the first one, and these rabid Boston fans hungry for their Celts to even the score.
Here's the starting group for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The two stars, LeBron and Love, making up the forward positions. Rodney Hood out there with Hill, and it's A-Train in at the 5.
Boy, bump them all you want. If James has already started his motion on a scoring chance, little you can do about it.
Morris dishes to Irving. Feeds it to Brown. Morris, left side. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
And as heated as this rivalry could become, for the players who swap sides, I feel like they're still adjusting. Kyrie was only too happy to come to Boston. But for IT and Crowder, definitely more mixed emotions.
Well, so rewarding for a player to beat everybody to the basketball and convert that second chance bucket.
And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Hill.
Well, guys, you see it so often. Kyrie Irving's speed makes him easy to foul. Boy, you think about the virtuoso ball handlers in NBA history, Kyrie Irving has got to rank at the top of that list. You know, his ability to dissect defenders, get into the lane, that is the foundation of his offensive game.
3 seconds.
Outside Hill. Clock at 6. There's the pick. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 or 3 so far. And the fans get their money's worth watching Irvin. My goodness, Doris, he puts on a show.
Oh, he certainly does. He's got every move in the book. A devastating crossover, a little in and out dribble, the hesitation, spin, the ability to stop on a dime and hit the pull-up. You don't ever know as a defender which way to go. Well, listen, we know this. Al Horford has always been a great mid-range shooter. It's just been in the last few seasons that he's made that three-point shot a bigger part of his offensive attack, and it's crucial, guys.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Clarkson's checked in. LeBron kicks to Clarkson.
Damn! Dude, fucking late, man.
Here's A-Train, guarded by Horford. No good from A-Train.
Fucking wide open lane.
And for a guy like Horford who can hit at a high clip from 20 feet, Doris, it makes sense to take a step back and tack on that extra point.
Well, that's exactly right. Why take a long 2 when you have the ability to make the 3? But to me, the most valuable thing Al Horford brings is versatility at the center spot. Boy, I didn't think he had a chance of stopping that lay-in. What a gutsy defensive play.
And Hood the bucket on the assist by Love.
Yeah, Rodney Hood not bashful about knifing into the teeth of the defense, given his quickness and length. Very comfortable operating down there.
Horford sets a screen for Irving. Hayward with the ball. He's picked up by James. Hayward kicks to Horford. Banked in off the glass.
Well, Mouse in the house. He recognizes the size advantage and goes right to the rim. Good aggressive play.
They set the pick. Love outside. Down low. Cleveland moving it around. Hood kicks to Clarkson. Fires from deep. Kyrie Irving with the rebound. Well, it was the Boston Celtics winning their last game against Brooklyn.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
I think, Greg, you can't expect to win with that kind of effort. The defense was nowhere to be found, and it cost them all night long.
And it's Brown missing. For Cleveland, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
And just showing you his determination despite the size difference.
I mean, how does he get that shot off? I mean, he had to angle that perfectly to get past the defender. Well, Brad Stevens started his own preseason coaching summit in Boston. This guy is clearly dedicated to his craft. He's dedicated to learning from his peers. He is always watching games from every different angle to try to learn.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And rumor has it Brad Stevens used to keep a pad of paper for every TV in the house to sketch plays that he saw in games.
Well, those were the old days. Now he can just text an assistant with the game and timestamp, and then he reviews a marathon edit of plays for things he can use. Oh, the beauty of technology.
Horford. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Clarkson kicks to Love. Now the dish to Hood. Pass to LeBron. Love with the screen on Hayward. To the middle. Here's A-Train. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
I really admire the presence of mind from Rodney Hood. He's terrific at realizing when one of his teammates is wide open.
Celtics trail by 6. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off. Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
And their offense already in a flow, some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Hayward passes to Horford. A shot by Hayward, wide open. Boston again missing.
They're not going to get away with many mistakes like that on the defensive end. You got to get out.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
I don't think you can ask for anything more, Greg. What a wonderful job establishing a lead early in this one.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first. And Doris, coming into the NBA, Love's game was centered around the basket, a double-double machine.
Well, think about this, Kev. One of 5 players in the last 3 decades to average over 15 rebounds for an entire season. He did that in 2011. And he still remains a factor on the boards because he's got terrific understanding of positioning and great lower body strength.
Smarts check in for Brown. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the Celtics.
And they really based almost their entire offense around the three-point shot. Spread the floor, space the defense, and if the deep shots aren't falling, at least it should open things up inside.
Oh, he'd like to have that one back. You almost never get that wide open a look.
The shot by Clarkson, no good.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Well, if he wasn't there, that shot's going in. Love the effort on the defensive end.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Monroe comes in for Morris, and it's Tatum in for Gordon Hayward. And Cleveland also making a change. Green's checked in. Here's Monroe. No good. They had a chance to end the run there.
Simply have to go up stronger than that. Could be a simple layup if he shows a little more determination.
Here's A-Train. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And now teams getting into the middle of the season. The truth is, it's a grind, Doris. You know, you've covered it, 82 games. In your opinion, is that the right amount in terms of 82 games in a regular season?
I would say to you, it doesn't matter if it's the right amount. I think the reality is this is the business of the NBA. It's been 82 games for as long as I can remember, certainly in my lifetime of fandom, Kevin. So the reality is what we need to do is address the schedule. And you're starting to see that. Shortening the preseason. Stretching out those windows where you're not getting 4 games in 5 nights and the back-to-backs, particularly when there's back-to-back on national television. 82 games is going nowhere from a business standpoint. Let's make those 82 games the best we can by lengthening the season.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Now a timeout called by Boston. The Cavaliers beat them last time when these 2 teams met in Cleveland.
Yeah, they gave up in that one. The defense constantly breaking down way too many times.
I think there has to be better communication, all 5 guys tied together, and what happened to them is what happens when you play lackluster defense.
And the Boston Celtics, the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference last season. Doris, the first time in 9 seasons they held that spot.
And frankly, Kevin, they were way ahead of schedule. And with new stars like Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, they've become a championship contender.
Here's Rozier. He's covered by Clarkson. And it's Rozier missing.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Green passes to A-Train. In the corner, Nance with it from downtown, and there's Green on the assist by Nance. Green's got himself going there, his first points of the game in the deep ball. Celtics trail by 17. Screen by Monroe. Smart with the ball. Now defended by Korver. To end the run. Doesn't go for it.
Gets it to very close range, but there was no way the defense going to back off and give him that layup.
They get it again. Takes the 3. And another 3 for Cleveland.
Well, this is Korver's game, right? A phenomenal catch-and-shoot player. You know he's ready to fire on the catch.
Here's Rozier. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's Monroe. And Craig Monroe with the slam.
Ooh, and I hope he didn't hurt his neck because that was one nasty head fake.
Yeah, the defender bought it all the way, didn't he? Here's A-Train, the rim-rattling 2-handed jam.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they built this lead. They played as one, shared the basketball, running their offense to perfection.
Screen by Monroe. Smart, wide open, he fires. No good on the triple. Green left side. And Green slams it in.
And really focused on establishing dominance down low. And guys, it's working.
Oh, no doubt. I think they've controlled the paint. They've used their size and strength to get off any shot they want.
Rozier kicks to Monroe. The Celtics working the ball around now. Now here's Tatum. Guarded by Korver, and the shot is good.
Man, I like the fact that Tatum has not abandoned the inside game. Solid at finding space around the rim to score.
Clarkson kicks to Green. Nance passes to A-Train. Back to Nance, and there's the feed to Green. Just 5 on the clock. Takes a 3. He can't get that one to fall.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
The Cavaliers leading by 20. Pass to A-Train. 34 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Here's Green. It's blocked. Here's Rozier. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's the screen.
Stay out this paint.
Now here's Tatum. Guarded closely. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. Can't hit that one.
Boy, the defense gets into his head and alters his release when he really doesn't have to.
We're at the end of the first quarter, and what a blowout already in this one. Cavaliers on top, opening up a huge gap. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expecting.
We expect so much out of each other every.
Kyrie reminding us, and a whole new group out on the floor for the Celtics. Boston's going to sublime 4 of 4 from three-point range since we've gotten in here in the second quarter. Brown and Hayward out on the perimeter. Morris is the 4 with Horford in the middle. And it's Irving at the point. That's the Boston 5. Here's Morris. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Love's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, A-Train in the last game against the Trailblazers was all business. He ended up with 25 points, and as he always seems to do, piled up rebound after rebound. He put up numbers that really jumped out of the box score. A very solid performance. Kevin will see what he's got in his arsenal tonight.
Hey, David, thank you. Any chance he can match that guy's and that performance again here tonight?
I tell you what, I know he believes he can. And his confidence right now is sky high. And he doesn't think there's anybody that can stop him.
Well, there might not be, because he's coming into this game thinking he can be just as dominant as he was the last time he took the floor.
And Doris, as great as Al Horford is as a player, he might be even a better leader.
Well, he's a pro's pro. Al Horford is a guy who entered the league with great work habits and great skill. More than anything to me, though, it's his poise and calm demeanor under pressure that gives his teammates a ton of confidence.
Come on,
kicks it out to Love. Irving against Clarkson. Great D that time from Irving. The Celtics shooting 38% from the field. A pretty weak showing for them. Brown kicks to Morris. Over Love. And there's Morris. That's good on the assist by Brown. Brown's got 3 assists in the game. On the wing, James. Defended by Hayward. In the corner, it's Clarkson. Hits it from three-point range. Clarkson's got 7 points in the game.
Now, the awareness that LeBron possesses was on display there. He knew exactly where to find the easy look.
The screen from Brown. Outside Irving.
Stay out of it.
Back to Hayward. Shoots the 3. Boston with a new 24. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Clarkson dishes to Love. A floater. And the layup is up and in. 6 points for him.
You know, rough start for him, but he seems to have turned the corner here in the second period.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Irving. Love grabs the board. Love's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
Boy, he hasn't given them much of anything tonight. He's got to look for his own shot a little less and keep the ball moving.
It's tipped. It's a pick by Love. To the paint. Now Hayward. He's coming off a 13-point game against Brooklyn. The screen from Brown. Irving for three. That doesn't go in either for Irving.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Down low. Hayward at the elbow over James. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
Hayward is such an accomplished shooter from the mid-range. Every level of the offense he can score from.
Here's A-Train, and he goes in for the dunk.
Well, he's such a good athlete for a center. It's how he's able to succeed despite being one of the smallest fives in the NBA.
So for Cleveland, their last game, a win against Portland.
And guys, they just got so many good looks in that one, and the defense never able to affect their offensive rhythm.
Well, I think the defense from the other team was simply porous. There's no other way to put it. So many openings, and they made them pay for it. I'll tell you, they're willing to give him that shot, and he takes advantage of it.
They set the screen. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
You guys know LeBron James relishes every chance he gets from the foul line, and usually he'll knock him down.
The Celtics making a switch here. Smart's checked in. 24 seconds left to play in the first half. Irving with the ball. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn.
And he was also a terrific creator in that game as well. His assist totals show you what a fantastic all-around effort it was. And the rebounding has been key to their success here tonight.
Yeah, they've dominated that category in this one. It's reflected in the score.
And so it's the Cleveland Cavaliers rolling along with a 27-point lead as we wrap up the quarter.
Thanks very much. From one Kevin to another, you guys were dominant in that first half and you have a big lead, but do you forget about that in the second half?
Oh yeah, we got to treat it like a 0-0 game. I know we're going to stay in the locker room. We got to come out and win the third quarter.
All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
That's pretty cool.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but you know, anything can happen. Without question, Rodney Hood displaying his skills today.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
Now, I think you can look to specifically the patience and the shot creation. Really solid effort.
Checking out the group for Tyronn Lue to start the second half. LeBron and Love are the deadly forward pair. George Hill out there with Hood, and it's A-Train in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Celtics have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple.
Hey, where's the foul for real, man?
And the first one drops.
While some are still speculating as to why Kyrie wanted out, the reality is, and it's this case with all great players, he feels like he's good enough to be the man on the team that can contend for a championship. And you might question how he went about it, but he's basically been a pro in his approach, and now he's got the chance.
And that one drops. 6 points for Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, that's what you want from Irving. He's a point guard who is always looking to distribute the rock.
Kicks it to Hood. The tray. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. Hood's got 15.
And there is going to be a lot of discussion over Irving's decision to want out for a long time. And what he does the next few years may end up defining his legacy. He is all in on himself, and it could pay off huge or fizzle out.
Yeah, Al Horford really cleaning the window right now. He's just pounding away on the opponent.
LeBron kicks to Hood. Hill, a screen on Brown. Pass to A-Train. Again, the Cavaliers score.
Well, he's kept them in balance tonight. This guy's shooting has put them in front.
Hayward on the wing. He kicks to Horford. Lets it fly from 18. And it's Horford again missing. Dishes it to Hill. Here's the screen. It's a pick by Love. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And George Hill, one of the elite defensive point guards in the league.
Well, he's got all the tools, Kevin. He's a great athlete. He's got long arms, and, of course, the know-how to get it done.
And the Cavs, once again, looking to will their way, Doris, to a title. Every year, the competition seems to grow fiercer.
Yes, but they seem to be a team that thrives on adversity. Think back to 2016 when they overcome that 3-1 deficit. Last season, it was the largest second-half comeback in playoff history. There's no quit in these Cavaliers.
Here's Irving, and the basket good. A bank shot that time. 9 points in the game so far.
Now, guys, you know this. If Kyrie is in rhythm, it doesn't matter how many hands you put in his face. He's still going to drill it.
Pick up by Hill. James kicks to Hill. Cleveland moving it around. And stolen by Hayward. Here's Irving.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Hayward. Over the last 10 games or so, he's really shown up, averaging 13 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And for any other player putting up those numbers, we'd say they were great, but for him, they're just simply run-of-the-mill.
Agreed. A lot of guys in this league would be very happy with that stat line. But this guy is the real deal. He is built for more.
Larry Nance is checked in for LeBron.
Here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rim. That unleashed chaos. Under Armour replay really giving us a good look at the action. Now a timeout called by Boston. And Doris, you've spoken in the past about the art form of drawing a foul. Who are some of the best players that you've seen in executing that?
Well, I think the preeminent guy at this point would have to be James Harden, right? And this guy specializes in the and one, the 3-shot opportunities from 3. And listen, that is part of the game, and we do not want to take that aspect away, right? Because and ones have always been a part of the game. What we need to evaluate is at what point does a shot attempt begin versus those guys who are throwing themselves, or in James Harden's case, sometimes grabbing the arm of the defender and creating a foul where none existed before.
He's been very clever in perfecting that, and I give him credit because he has taken what's given and really exploited it.
It might become known if they make a change as the Harden rule, Kevin.
It probably will be. Wells, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. And Boston has possession. Here's Monroe. It's rebounded by Cleveland. A-Train's got 8 rebounds in this game.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Wells passes to Nance.
Are you for real?
And he didn't get quite enough under that one. For Boston, they've gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter.
You go
4 of 8.
from me to Larry Nance. Really?
Here's Rozier. He's guarded by Hill.
You ain't no Jay. You ain't got no Jay. I ain't worried about you.
Shot clock at 6.
Give me a rock.
The pass to Rozier. Here's Monroe. Pops in the layup for 2. Monroe's got his second basket of the night.
Well, the height advantage in this matchup becomes a big factor when he's in the low box.
Here's A-Train. Oh! And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. Those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. There are times when you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players. So timeout called here, the first for Cleveland.
Hey, guys, you know you never run out of things that you can improve upon.
I think, Greg, it's important to keep that hunger, right? You're always striving to get better and to change things up.
Smart's checked in for Boston. Here's Wells. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Pick up by Hill. Wells kicks to Hill. Here's A-Train.
Kevin, I've always appreciated the unselfish nature of George Hill. He always has his eyes surveying the floor.
Screen by Monroe. Rozier kicks to Tatum. To the inside. Pass to Rozier. Lets it go with the three. And the three ball is good. Rozier's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Here's A-Train. He's got 20. Boom!
Oh my God.
That's how you attack. Wow.
How'd he do that?
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skill to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
Well, help him, Lance.
Here's Monroe. That one goes. Count it. Monroe's got 4 this quarter.
I'll tell you, Kev, they wouldn't object if all their looks were that close.
The Cavs, Tyronn Lue said he never envisioned coaching during his playing career, but Doc Rivers saw something in him.
Well, Doc likes to say that Ty just had a way of bringing people together, a way of connecting. At the same time, Lue is tough enough to speak the truth and point out things that others might be reluctant to say.
Marcus Morris has checked in for the Celtics. Kyrie Irving comes in for Rozier. Clarkson, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. And here's Smart. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Outside Irving. Basket number 5 goes in. He's now 5 of 12 from the floor.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Timeout called, Cleveland.
When you look at the Cavs bench, you certainly see a lot of veterans over there. LeBron wants teammates he can trust in the heat of the playoffs.
And LeBron trying to make the most of his championship window, Doris. But does the age of the Cavalier role players shorten that window, do you think?
Well, I think it's a great question. And you could look at a team like the San Antonio Spurs, and they put among their reserves young developing players, and that helps to extend their run. With the Cavs, it seems to be more of a now or never approach.
And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
There's the pick. A-Train, the pass to Clarkson. He feeds it to Wells. And another 3 for Cleveland.
And from what I've seen and heard, Shammy Wells has gone out of his way to take DJ under his wing in the NBA. Not sure if that's the guy you want as a veteran leader, but he and DJ seem to be on the same page.
Here's Irving. And he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
He has certainly done his part.
Boston's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. They've got Greg Monroe. Tatum out there with Hayward. And it's Kyrie Irving, and it's Smart in at the 2.
Give me the
That's
rock.
the Boston 5. Here's A-Train. Second shot, and that's 2 points on the layup. A-Train's got 24.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Right, really a disappointing effort on the defensive end, not offering any challenge at all at the cup.
I mean, you look at this Celtics roster, a bevy of long, athletic wing players. They seem to be taking a cue from teams like the Warriors, who have found success with defensive switching and positionless basketball. And the Celtics, as you see, are stockpiling wing forwards. Brown, Tatum, Hayward, and we're seeing those guys lining up at the 2, 3, and 4. It gives Brad Stevens tremendous roster versatility.
And it's Irving missing.
Now, great look on that, just a little out of rhythm.
Yeah, he looked like he forced that a little bit. Just needs to take his time. Got to make these shots right now.
They set the pick. Here's A-Train. Up loose off the pick and hammers it home.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Hey, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one. Royce, I've heard you talk often about instituting a play clock from the very beginnings of someone learning the game of basketball.
Kevin, I think this is absolutely critical to the future of the game of basketball here in the United States, because the Europeans right now, from the formative stages, from the youngest someone picks up the game of basketball, play under duress of the shot clock. And the reason that's important is you must be a three-tool player to play under duress of a shot clock, meaning you've got to be a triple threat. You've got to be able to pass it, dribble it, and shoot it. And to do that with the pressure of a shot clock leaning in on you from those earliest moments is significant. And I know I have the backing of guys like R.C. Buford and Rick Carlisle. They believe, more important than me, intelligent basketball people believe that in the United States, we must institute a shot clock from the time guys and young women pick up the game.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Cleveland.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, but an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25.
And they've taken control of the season series. This brings them to 2-0 with one game left against this squad.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and look at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for A-Train.
Boy, this guy played with some swagger and intensity on the boards tonight, dominating the physical aspect of the game. Well, the three-pointer, right? A much more significant piece of the Celtics offense. They went from middle of the pack to top three in makes from deep last year.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, A-Train.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. It must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
On the road, in a tough atmosphere, he's taking on the role of star tonight. If one of their other players came up short, he picked up the slack to make sure they'll be walking out of here with a win. Now, here's Clarkson. He's guarded closely. There's the pick. Passes it to A-Train. Out to Thompson. From outside the arc. The shot by Wells, no good. And for the Celtics last season, their three-point attempts up by almost a third. At the same time, improved their percentage.
Well, this is an organization that reflects the way the league is going. They are especially dead from the corners with those threes, and that really elevated their offense.
Now, here's Clarkson. D right on him. The Cavaliers again can't hit. Here's Rozier. Here's Smart. Off target with his three. Now, here's Clarkson. And it's good for two.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
No, I think that they've been locked in during this game. They didn't let the opposing crowd get to them at all. This has been pure domination.
Hey, DJ.
Hey.
Great game out there. Look, Shaq and the guys want to talk to you in the studio.
Really?
So stand, right this way.
Oh,
Stand
what?
here, and
Okay.
we'll get you set up. Perfect.
That's good.
Hey, this is Shaq. Big shout out for the way you lit up and still control the boards. Are you pleased with the inside presence of your team?
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You know, one thing that we strive for as a team is just to have an edge on the glass and to close out those possessions quickly. And, you know, I thought we did a great job of that as a team tonight, and the points were just an added bonus.
Great job, Windex, my guy.